What's up, everyone? This is Corey with the OverLook, and we go over the books you may have overlooked. If this is your first video, welcome. What we do here is take the original comic book series that influenced the games, movies, and TV shows you love, and we make them into long-form audio dramas. Whatever you want to call them, really. If you've heard of creepypastas, they're kind of like that. So, throw this on in the background of one of your gaming sessions or maybe as a bedtime story. No matter how you listen, do me a huge favor and give this video a like. It means a lot more to me personally than you would think. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. It's long overdue. In the past, Duncan Locke follows his older brother, Rendell, and his classmates from the senior drama club into a cave just off the coast of Lovecraft. In attendance are Rendell, of course, and his girlfriend, Kim Topher. There is Aaron Voss, Mark Cho, Ellie Whedon, and her boyfriend, Lucas Caravaggio. Apparently, this is where the high schoolers hang out, Duncan thinks. He makes his way down to the entrance of the cave and notices that, now that the tide has subsided, there are steps leading downward into the darkness, all the way to a sign that says East Battery 13, Lovecraft Station, U.S. Government personnel only. Before Duncan can make it too far, Rendell stops him in his place, telling him, "What do you think you're doing? I told you I don't want you along. Go home, Duncan." Now, in Provincetown, Massachusetts, Duncan Locke is the head of the art department at the university he works at. He is young, but that just means he must work that much harder. But something, lately, has been nagging at the back of his mind. What was I saying? Duncan is snapped back to reality, realizing that he is still in the midst of class. Each of his students stare back at him with their art pieces presented. One of his students, a woman, answers that Duncan was in the middle of explaining the point of their exercise. What exactly was the point of drawing things upside down? She adds. "Oh, right, sorry. Forgot where I was for a second," Duncan admits before continuing. He uses his own painting of the cave outside Lovecraft for reference. For an artist, it can be useful to literally turn the world upside down. The familiar becomes unfamiliar, which, strangely enough, allows you to see what's in front of you more clearly. Flipping things over confuses the left side of your brain, shuts it down, freeing your right side to do its creative thing. Often in this exercise, people surprise themselves by drawing details they weren't even aware were there, in an ongoing process of, "Who are those people coming out of the cave?" the woman asks, pointing at Duncan's work. She doesn't see anyone in the photograph Duncan used for inspiration. "People?" Duncan wonders aloud, darting his eyes back to his drawing. No, it's just a landscape. I didn't draw any people." Duncan raises an eyebrow as he sees a number of miniature figures standing at the entrance to the cave. He then raises his reference photo to compare. "Huh. Will you look at that? I have no idea who they are. I don't even know why I drew them. They aren't in the photo. Isn't that wonderfully schizophrenic?" After that, class ends. Duncan waves goodbye before getting a call on his cell phone. Someone wants to meet him for a drink. Elsewhere, Ellie Whedon decides to take a shower She needs to get away. She hasn't slept or eaten much since she helped Zack get rid of Mr. Ridgway's body. She just needs to get away. Zack walks into the bathroom and opens up the shower door to find Ellie sitting on the floor. What are you doing?
Sitting.
I see. He holds his hand out to the water. That's freezing. You're freezing.
All these people are dead because of us. Because of me. Joe Ridgway and my mother. And Mark Cho and Kim.
Mark Cho. Kim. Let's stick to things that have happened this century.
You should be dead, and I brought you back. You do things. Terrible things. Impossible, terrible things. And that's not the worst. You're in my head somehow.
Zack turns off the water. Yes. Good thing, too. Most grown-ups miss magic even when it's right in front of them. You used to know that. If there wasn't a part of me inside you, you'd still be stuck with your mother, that withered old cunt. And you'd be like every other grown-up, blind to what the keys can do. It's terrible what getting old does to people. They don't just get uglier on the outside. This didn't have to happen to you, you know, getting old. If you had just stuck with me, at the end we could have... well, you don't really remember. Here, take this. He walks over and grabs a towel to give her. I'm going to try to help you somehow. You're no use to me if you go crazy. And you'd be no good to Rufus either. You want to think about that? If you have a nervous breakdown, who's going to look after your son? Me? Within the key house, Tyler and Kinsey are arguing. Both of them just agreed, like yesterday, not to show anyone the keys. And today, Tyler decides to bring over this honeypot. Study partner, Tyler corrects her. And can you keep your voice down? Kinsey snaps back. I don't know anything about her. If we were going to tell someone, it ought to be someone we at least halfway know, like Jackie or Zack. Heck, I would have been fine with him. Well, actually. Suddenly, there is a knock at the door. Tyler smiles sheepishly at his younger sister before trotting to the doorway. He swings it open, revealing none other than Zack. What took you so long? Tyler asks him. It's late. Zack smirks. Aunt Ellie shoved a bunch of hot cherry pie in my face and wouldn't let me go until I ate myself sick. Woman can cook. Is it okay for you to spend the night? Sure, I have that lady under my powers. Zack confirms as he steps into the home. He enters a large room with a dinner table to find Bodhi, as well as his and Tyler's classmate, Jordan, waiting impatiently. So, what's this amazing thing you had to show us on a Friday night? And how's it going to help us get A's? Tyler tells Zack to just wait. It's going to be the most intense thing he's ever seen. Jordan adds, and then he unzipped his pants. What? Tyler asks. Never mind, keeping myself entertained. Go ahead, show us your thing, or whatever it is you wanted to show us, Tyler nods and walks to the end of the table. He then takes the head key and enters it at the base of his neck. With a slight turn, the top of Tyler's skull disappears. He smiles nervously at Zack and Jordan, unsure what to say next. Bodhi, for one, is excited. Zack lets out an impressed whistle. Kinsey keeps her eyes on Jordan, who lets out a forced laugh. And then she realizes no one is joking. Tears begin to form in Jordan's eyes, and she sprints out of the room and through the front door. Tyler chases after her, but Kinsey stops him, reminding him that he can't go outside with the top of his head missing. Tyler turns the key back and removes it before tossing it to his sister. I thought she'd think it was wild. I was going to ask her to a movie, but nothing good was playing. Zack, Kinsey, and Bodhi all watch Tyler chase Jordan from the doorway. Zack takes this opportunity to place his hand on Kinsey's shoulder. "Where did this come from?" he asks coolly. "Here, Key House. We think it's just one of many. That there are other keys in this house that do other things. It's a long story, and it's all pretty crazy." Zack tells Kinsey, "I just watched your bro open his head like a trash can. Lay it on me." Outside, Jordan rushes to her motorcycle and slams on her helmet. She turns on the bike, but before she can pull off, Tyler jumps in front and throws his arms up, pleading, "Jordan, wait! Don't go! I should've... But it's just... Well, what would you do if you had something so amazing? I mean, you'd have to show it to someone. And I didn't know anyone, and it's hard to say all this when I can't see your face." Jordan raises her visor, revealing that she is still crying. "I don't know what you did in there, but I can tell when I'm being fucked with, and I don't like it. Let go of my arm, now. I'm going through a lot of shit right now, and I have better things to do with my Friday night than hang out with a complete freak." Back in Provincetown, Duncan walks down the street with a short, overweight, middle-aged, balding man in a baggy suit, carrying an empty beer bottle. Duncan tells the man, "She's out of her mind. She's so angry. Who wouldn't be? But the other thing is how much Nina drinks now." "While we haven't been drinking nearly enough," the man tells him. Duncan sighs. "I know I need to be here, but I just feel like..." The old man stops walking and forces a kiss onto Duncan. "Quit it already. They can live without you, whereas I know I can't." The two pass a bar on the way home, and the old man swings open the door and walks in, claiming that Duncan is entirely too sober. While the door is opening, Duncan examines the people inside the bar. It's a rather aggressive bunch, he thinks to himself. He suggests drinking at a club down the street, but the old man, Brian, refuses. They're probably playing Share or some shit over there that he doesn't want to listen to. Besides, if they're going to grab a beer, then Brian needs somewhere where he can watch the game. The two sit down at the bar, and before they are even handed their drinks, two women in the corner of the bar are using homophobic rhetoric. Brian barks back his own insults, agitating the women. One of them pours out her bottle and prepares to use it as a weapon. Duncan sees this and tries to convince Brian to drink elsewhere. But, once again, Brian refuses. The last thing he's going to do is back down. Besides, if he goes now, he'd be leaving his beer behind, and they both know that's not going to happen. The woman with the bottle swings at Brian, but he is able to react at the last second, dodging the attack, and instead, the bottle hits Duncan on the forehead and shatters on contact, causing him to bleed out and fall to the floor. In the past, the young Duncan Locke listens to his brother Rendell's orders and uses the steps to exit the cave. "It's dark down here," he mumbles. Lucas arrives. "Come on, kid, I'll see you halfway," he tells Duncan, placing a hand on Duncan's shoulder to help him up the steps. "Where are you going?" Duncan asks. "Can't," Lucas tells him. "It isn't safe." "Then why are you going?" "Because it isn't safe. That's the fun. It's a bigger kid thing. But take it from your buddy Dodge. It wouldn't be fun if something happened to you. Head on back, okay? Oh, and hey, if anyone asks where we went, forget you saw us down here, okay?" In the present, Kinsey wraps up her story, catching Zack up on all the events of the Key House up until now. "I just can't get over this. This is beyond belief. I mean, think of the possibilities. If learning anything was as easy as turning a key in a lock, what would you want to learn?" he asks Kinsey. "You could know it all. Every philosophical work ever written. Cutting-edge mathematics." Bodhi jumps up from his seat. "Or the secrets of the world's best alligator wrestlers." "Yes, now you're talking." Kinsey rolls her eyes and tells Zack that it isn't just about what you can put in, but you can take things out as well. "Like what?" Zack asks. Bodhi waves his hands in the air. "You know the awful thing in the well that Kinsey told you about? The thing Sam Lesser wanted to set free? Kinsey pulled it out of my head to look at it." She did?" Zack looks to Kinsey to confirm. His usual cool demeanor changes for a moment. Now, a touch of worry in his tone. "What'd it look like?" Kinsey and Bodhi raise up their hands and turn them into claws as they both fix their faces to look like what they believe the monster to be. Kinsey tells Zack to try to imagine a cross-dressing vampire bitch with snaggly nasty teeth and a green dead face. Then take whatever he's imagining and make it 10 times uglier. Zack scoffs. "That bad, huh? Well, maybe she felt pretty on the inside." "Anyway," Kinsey tells him, "I'm less interested in extracting memories than I am in getting rid of some other junk." Elsewhere, within Duncan's home in Provincetown, he slowly eases himself awake. "Tyler," he mumbles. It takes a second for him to realize he's still bleeding. "There you are," Brian cheers. He shifts the weight of the ice pack in his hand before replacing it on his swollen cheek. "Carrying you back here was like hauling a dead man around." "What happened?" Duncan asks. "Some shit got broke, including my nose. The cops showed up, and everyone ran. Your basic Friday evening where I grew up." Duncan tries to sit up. "I have to get up. I have to call home." "You don't gotta do shit," except lay back and rest. Brian tries to force Duncan to lay back down, but Duncan tells him, "You don't get it. I need to talk to Tyler tonight. He's in trouble." Outside the residence, the women from the bar pull up across the street in an old station wagon. One of them, the woman who had the bottle, Jean, followed Brian to the house and is now patiently waiting for the little fuck to turn off the light and his TV before they make their move. Her friend, the woman in green, is worried about how much blood she got on her hand during the bar fight. She heard somewhere that the gays got the AIDS. She cleaned her hand, of course, but you never know with those people. Jean, on the other hand, wants revenge. Her brother is having a hard time in jail, and she needs something to vent her frustration on. In the key house, Kinsey tells her brothers and Zack what she wants to get rid of is fear. She wants to take out all of her fears inside her. And I'd like to forget how to cry. I am so fucking sick of crying. Tyler grabs the key from her and enters it at the base of her neck. "I don't know if that's such a good idea," he warns her. Kinsey responds, "I noticed you didn't ask me for permission before going ahead with your stupid ideas, so go." Tyler opens up her skull and reaches in. "I'm not sure what I'm looking for." As usual, when using the head key, a duplicate of Kinsey appears. She points inside her own head, saying, "There! That's it!" "Right," Tyler confirms. "Shit, slippery little bastard. Someone get something to put it in." Bodhi grabs an empty soda bottle and holds it up. "Oh, look at it," Zack laughs. "Nasty little fucker." "Don't let it go," Kinsey gasps. Tyler drops the creature in the bottle and reaches back in for her memory on how to cry. He soon removes that memory as well and throws it in the bottle with the fear creature. They all watch as the fear creature berates the other. "You're going to die. The thing that got out of the well is coming for you. It's coming for all of you." "No, no, 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 no," the weeping creature cries. "Fuck them. What about you? It'll wait till you're asleep, and then it'll be back. It's coming. It's coming tonight."